Hello, math fans. All right, what we're going to talk about today is percents. Okay, it's actually pretty easy. You might have even heard or learned back in the day how to do percents, but it's pretty easy. Like what I mean by percents is I'll say, what is 5% of 20? Or 20 is what percent of 50? Or 20 is 50% of what number? Okay, so there are kind of three different things that I could ask you for, and this is key. I'm going to even do this in red because this is such an important formula. It's is over of equals percent over 100. This is huge for knowing how to do every percent problems. Okay, I'm going to write huge here. It is so important for writing percent problems, or for calculating them out. So let's talk about how to use these guys, and let's just do a bunch of examples. All right, so first of all, if I said, and you're going to be using your calculator here because, you can get decimals and everything, and you're usually, for an answer, you don't put 5.5%. You say 5.5%. Okay, so that's pretty important. Make sure you guys are using your calculators here. All right. So the basic one. If I said what is 20% of 80? All right. Now, some of you guys are pretty smart, and I don't care how you do it. This general formula here is just, it works for every type of problem because this is actually a really basic one. All right. If I want to do 20% of 80, I can literally just do 0.2 times 80. Okay, that would work, and that would give you 16. All right. Now, actually, the way I would do a lot of these problems when you're figuring out percent is, I'm not really sure what 20% of 80 is, but 10% is like really easy because you move the decimal over. So if it's 10% of 80, isn't 10% 8? And it's 20%, so it's double it. That's why it's 16. Okay, that's actually pretty easy. I want to use this formula, though, because this formula is going to be used if this is kind of an easy problem, but I want to show you how it works for every single problem. Okay, so let's kind of highlight a couple things here. You have the word is, you have the word of, and you have the word percent. So what is, that is what we're looking for. So this is kind of the unknown here, and that's going to be our variable. So if I set this up, it's going to be x over, that's my is, okay, and then of, well, that's easy, it's right here, of 80, okay, and so I'm going to put, that's over here, 80, that's equal to, now 100 is always on the bottom, so I'm just going to put that in there. You can put that in the beginning, right, that's fine. And then the last thing here is 20%, right? And that's easy. Just kind of fill it in. So it's 20. And don't put the decimals. I know some of you guys are going, well, do you put, for math, you put the decimal? No, you don't need to. You literally put in the percent. That's why you have the 100 underneath it, because it actually converts it to the decimal. Okay? And then something that you really haven't learned yet, we'll get into that later, but it's something called cross multiply. And we'll talk about that later in this class. But cross multiply, you multiply that together, and you multiply that together. Okay? So x times 100 is 100x. Okay, equals, and then 80 times 20 is 1600. Again, I don't care, use your calculator, it's great. Divide by 100. Because, right, this is like a normal problem now. After we do the cross multiplying, it's like a normal problem here. All right? And we get x equals 16. Okay, so we get the same answer. And again, I don't care how you do it. Some of you guys you're really smart. And you're like, oh, well, I'll just do it like that. And some of you guys have not really worked with percentages, and you're still a smart person, but you maybe haven't worked with the percentages, which is fine. And then you can always use the stuff I have in red here, because that works for every problem. All right, so let's actually do a problem that is a little more complicated. That it's great to have. So I'm going to actually write this out here in red again. Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so let's, if I do 20 is what percent of 50. Okay, so that's a little more complicated because you're like, 20 is what percent of 50? And you're trying to kind of look at it and trying to figure it out. So it's not as easy as before where I said, hey, 10% of whatever number, give me that value, just multiply it. So we're going to just kind of put it all together. Here's 20 is, well, here it is, what percent? That's what I'm looking for. That's going to be my variable. That's going to be my x. And then here's your of 50. Okay, it's really nice. So 20 is, so 20 on top. The of is 50, that goes in the bottom. The percent is x and over 100. That's really nice. So I cross multiply. So you get 50x is equal to 2,000. Okay, and then again, I don't care, just use your calculator. Divide both sides by 50. And we get x equals 40. So 20 is 40% of 50. All right. Now again, a little bit easier way to do this. You could have said, you could have just divided it out. 20 is what percent of 50? You do 20 over 50, which gives me 2/5. And 2/5 basically is, if you convert that into a decimal, it's 0.40, which is 40%, right? Remember, you move the decimal over. But by using this guy right here, man, you don't even have to worry about any kind of conversion, fraction, whatever. You just it just gives you the answer. It's really, really convenient. Okay, so let's do the last kind of problem here. If I said 20 is 30% of what number? Okay, so that's different now. I'm saying I'm trying to figure out what that number is. 20 is 30% of some other number. So and we're just going to, here, let me write the formula out here again. Is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so we're going to fill it in here. 20 is 30% of what number? So that's what we're looking for, of what? Okay, so 20 on top of is my variable x. Okay, and 30 on top here and 100 on the bottom. So 30 times x is 30x, cross multiplying. 20 times 100 is 2,000. And then you just do 2,000 divided by 30. And you get x equals 66.6. So it keeps going, it's 0.666, all right? But that's your answer. So 20 is 30% of 66 and really 2/3, okay, and that's your answer. That's this is actually the toughest one to figure out of all of them, where this guy comes in handy all the time. All right, but that's basically using percent. Recognize the is, the of, and the percent, and plugging in is over of equals percent over 100, and that is you're good to go with that. All right, that's it, math fans. Have a great day. Goodbye.